If you can invest with just $100, you can build $100,000. Not because $100 is powerful, but because the behavior required to invest $100 correctly is the same behavior that creates your first $100,000. Most people don't fail because they lack money. They fail because they lack a system. They wait for the perfect time. They wait for more income. They wait until they feel ready. And while they wait, life gets more expensive, habits harden, and the future arrives anyway. So here's the truth I want you to hold in your hands today. Your first $100 invested is not about returns. It's about identity. It is the moment you become the type of person who can do small things consistently and turn them into a compounding machine. And once that machine exists, 100K is not a dream. It is a schedule. Stay with me, because in this episode, I'll give you two practical frameworks. The $100 protocol. Exactly what to do with your first $100 so you don't waste it or panic. The 100K flywheel. The system that turns tiny, boring actions into your first 6 figures saved. And at the end, I'll answer the question people are afraid to ask. Why does $100,000 change your life, psychologically and financially, more than almost any other milestone? Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is built around two ideas that sound like they belong to different worlds. Invest with just $100. Save your first $100,000. It will change your life. But they are the same story, because wealth is not primarily built by one big decision. It's built by a long series of small decisions that survive boredom, survive volatility, and survive your own emotions. Quick disclaimer. This is educational content, not financial advice. I'm not your personal advisor. Use this as a framework and adapt it to your reality. Now, let me tell you why this topic matters. People often say, I can't invest. I don't have enough money. That is rarely the real problem. The real problem is that investing feels like a performance, a test, a place where you can be humiliated by being wrong, so they avoid it. But in professional finance, being wrong is normal. The goal is not to never be wrong. The goal is to survive being wrong. That's the mindset I'm bringing today. Soros-style. Fallibility. You will make mistakes. Reflexivity. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your outcomes. Optionality. The ability to choose is worth more than a perfect prediction. Here's the trap. When people finally get $100 to invest, they treat it like a lottery ticket. They look for the one magical asset that will turn $100 into $10,000 overnight. And that mindset creates a reflexive loop of failure. They chase hype, they get emotional, they quit when reality doesn't match the fantasy. They conclude investing doesn't work, and they never build consistency. So they never reach 100K, because 100K is not built by a lottery mindset. It's built by a flywheel. Today, we build the flywheel. Here's our roadmap. Part A, the philosophy that actually works. Why your first $100 matters more than it should. Why most people fail, not lack of money, lack of structure. Part B, the $100 protocol. 3, the 3 rules for investing with $100 without becoming fragile. 4, the don't do this list, the fastest ways to sabotage yourself. 5, how to set up a simple survivable investing habit. Part C, the bridge to 100K. 6, the 100K flywheel, income gap, automation, compounding. 7, the trap zone, why people collapse at 70 to 90%. 8, what to do immediately after you hit 100K so it truly changes your life. And through all of it, I'm going to keep repeating one sentence, because it's the whole game. You don't build wealth by being right once. You build wealth by not being destroyed when you're wrong. Before we go deeper, I want to open a loop that will make the whole episode click. There are 2 speeds of money. Fast money. Excitement, hype, dopamine, quick wins, quick losses. Slow money. Systems, consistency, boring compounding, freedom. Most people spend their life chasing fast money, but $100,000 is built by slow money. In a few minutes, I'll show you how to convert $100 into slow money, and how slow money becomes life-changing. Why investing $100 is not about returns. It's about building an identity and a system you can repeat. Then we'll begin the $100 protocol. Let's go. Let's clarify something before we talk about strategies. $100 will not change your life financially, but it can change your life behaviorally. And behavior is the real source of wealth. The first $100 is where you prove whether you can do three things. Act without needing perfect certainty. Stay consistent when it's boring. Stay calm when it's volatile. If you can do those three things with $100, you can do them with $1,000. If you can do them with $1,000, you can do them with $100,000. So this is not a small topic. This is the foundation. People treat investing as a performance. They want to look smart. They want to pick the right thing. But that's not investing. That's ego. Professional investors accept fallibility. They expect to be wrong sometimes. So they build systems that survive being wrong. When you invest your first $100 properly, you're doing an identity trade. You are trading the desire to feel smart today for the ability to be wealthy later. That is a mature trade. And it's rare. Now let's apply reflexivity. When someone invests $100 and it drops to $85, they feel stupid. They feel punished. So they stop investing. Then they say, see, it doesn't work. That belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They stop contributing. They miss compounding. They never build momentum. They remain financially fragile. And they confirm the belief. That's reflexivity against them. But if you invest $100 with the correct mindset, a drop is not humiliation. A drop is information about your risk tolerance, about your time horizon, about your ability to stay calm. So the first $100 is like a training session. It trains the nervous system. And your nervous system, more than your intelligence, determines your long-term outcomes. Here is the $100 protocol. 3 rules. Rule number 1, protect your time horizon. Rule number 2, remove fragility before chasing return. Rule number 3, automate and repeat. We'll do this in part 3. If you follow these rules, you convert $100 into slow money. Now let's go through rule number 1 and number 2 carefully. The biggest mistake beginners make is investing money they might need soon. Because if you might need it soon, your time horizon is short. And with a short horizon, volatility becomes danger. So rule number 1 is simple. Only invest the $100 if you can leave it alone for years. If you'll need it next month for rent or bills, don't invest it. That's not cowardice. That's intelligence. Investing is not a place for maybe. Investing requires a clear time horizon. Practical test. If this $100 dropped by 30% tomorrow, would it hurt your life? If yes, keep it as cash. If no, you can invest. This one rule prevents 80% of beginner failures. Now we talk about fragility again. Fragility is what forces bad decisions. If you have no emergency cash, high interest debt, unstable income, or a life where one surprise becomes a crisis, then your $100 should not be used to chase return. It should be used to reduce fragility, because removing fragility increases your future earning power and investing consistency. And consistency beats cleverness. What does remove fragility look like with $100? It can mean starting a micro-emergency fund, paying down high-interest debt, even small payments or momentum, reducing a recurring expense, a subscription that leaks money monthly, investing in a small skill tool, book, course, that improves income. This is the professional idea. The best return is the return that prevents ruin. And with small amounts, preventing ruin often comes from stability, not markets. Let's make it blunt. Here's how people waste their first $100. They treat it like a lottery ticket. They chase hype. They try to double it fast. They panic at small losses. They stop contributing. In other words, they convert $100 into fast money thinking. And fast money thinking keeps you poor. So your goal is to train slow money thinking. Slow money is boring, but boring is powerful. In part 3, we'll finish the $100 protocol with rule number 3. Automate and repeat. I'll give you the $100 habit system, the simplest portfolio behavior that beginners can survive, and how this tiny process connects directly to the $100K flywheel. Because $100K is not built by one big bet. It's built by income gap automation, compounding, and not blowing up. Now we finish the $100 protocol with the most important rule, automation. Because $100 isn't powerful, but a repeatable process is. Your first $100 is a seed. Automation is the irrigation system. Without automation, you rely on mood. With automation, you rely on structure. And structure is what survives boredom, stress, and distraction. So here's rule number 3. Rule number 3 is simple. Invest in a way that happens even when you forget. The most common failure in personal finance is not bad investments. It's the stop-start cycle. Invest, once get excited, get scared, stop, spend the rest, repeat. That cycle kills compounding. So automation is not convenience. Automation is anti-self-sabotage, the minimum effective dose system. If you're starting with $100, you don't need a perfect plan. You need a minimum effective dose, small amount, consistent schedule, long horizon. The goal is to become the kind of person who invests every month, even when nothing is happening. Because nothing happening is the point. Compounding is quiet. Here's the habit. Every month, invest a small amount on the same day. That's it. You pick a date, payday, or the first of the month, and you automate it. Why monthly? Because monthly investing builds consistency, immunity to timing anxiety, and emotional stability. You stop asking, is now the right time? You invest because it's Tuesday, because it's the first, because it's your system. That is how professionals remove emotion from execution. If you want to make it even more realistic, do this. Track A, a small automated investment, even $25, $50. Track B, an optional extra contribution when you have surplus. Track A makes you consistent. Track B accelerates progress, but never rely on Track B. Rely on Track A, because Track A is what builds identity. I'm going to keep this clean. With small amounts, your goal is not to pick a genius trade. Your goal is diversification, simplicity, survivability, Heligic. Because beginners don't fail from low returns. They fail from panic and quitting. So choose instruments and habits that reduce panic. The beginner principle. If it makes you check prices every hour, it's not for you yet. The best investment is the one that keeps you calm and consistent. That's how you build a long-time horizon. And the long horizon is where wealth comes from. Now we connect it to the bigger milestone. How does $100 become 100,000? Not by turning $100 into 100K directly. It becomes 100K by building a system that scales. You start with $100 to build identity. Identity creates consistency. Consistency creates a savings rate. Savings rate creates a growing gap. The gap feeds investments. Investments compound. You reach 100K. This is why the first $100 matters. It is the beginning of a flywheel. And now I'll give you that flywheel explicitly. Here's the flywheel that creates your first $100,000. Flywheel. Step 1. Increase input, income. Even small income increases matter if your lifestyle doesn't inflate with them. Flywheel. Step 2. Protect the gap. Income minus expenses. This is the fuel. Without a gap, investing is a fantasy. Flywheel. Step 3. Automate, capture wealth account first, spending later. Flywheel. Step 4. Compound safely. Simple, diversified, no leverage, long horizon. Flywheel. Step 5. Repeat for years, not for weeks. The key is repetition. People want a miracle. We want a machine, because machines are reliable. Soros-style thinking says, we are fallible, the world is uncertain, reflexivity can create bubbles and crashes, the goal is survival plus optionality. So the flywheel is designed to reduce fragility, prevent forced selling, keep you consistent, and build optionality. Optionality is the real prize. Now we address the most dangerous period. When people reach 70 to 90% of their goal, they often self-sabotage. They say, I deserve an upgrade. I'm close. Let me speed it up. I'm safe now. Then they increase fixed costs, take a risky bet, lose consistency, and reset atrophy. So the rule near 100K is no major upgrades, no hero bets, no identity inflation. You protect the flywheel until you cross the milestone. Because 100K is a gateway, not a trophy. In part 4, we'll do 2 things. A simple timeline model. If you invest $100 a month, $250 a month, $500 a month, how long to 100K? And more importantly, what levers cut that time in half? The post 100K protocol. What to do immediately after you reach 100K so it truly changes your life and you don't slide back. Because hitting 100K is not the hard part. Keeping it and turning it into the next flywheel is where your life transforms. Now we do the thing that turns motivation into reality. We put numbers on it. Because when you know your timeline, you stop fantasizing and start building the machine. But we'll do it like professionals do it. We assume fallibility. We assume life will interrupt. We don't build a plan that only works in a perfect world. We build a plan that works in the real one. Here's the simple model. Your path to 100K is dominated by 2 forces. How much you contribute, how consistently you do it. Returns matter. especially later, but early on, contributions are the engine. So let's use a conservative, behavior-first model. Step 1. Define your monthly contribution, M. This is what you invest consistently. Then, years to 100K, roughly 100,000 to 112 M. This is the no-return baseline. Not because returns don't exist, but because this baseline shows you the power of the contribution lever. Now let's plug in a few examples. 100 a month, 1,100 equals $1,200 a year. 100,000 or 1,200, 83.3 years. This is not meant to discourage you. This is meant to reveal the truth. $100 per month is identity building, not a full engine yet. $250 a month, 12 times 250 equals $3,000 per year. 100,000 or 3,000, 33.3 years. 500s per month, 12 times 500 equals $6,000 a year. 100,000, 6,000 to 16.7 years. 1,000 month, 12 1,000 equals 12,000 a year. 100,000, 12,000, 8.3 years. This is the reality. Your first $100 a month proves you can be consistent. But your first 100K happens when you scale the monthly engine. So the question is not, can I start with $100? The question is, how do I build the system that grows $100 a month into $500, then $1,000, then more? That's the flywheel. Most people try to cut the timeline with returns. They chase the perfect investment. But the most reliable levers are not market predictions. They are structural. Lever 1, increase income without increasing fixed costs. This is the cleanest accelerator. If your income rises and your lifestyle stays stable, your monthly contribution increases automatically. That's a timeline weapon. Lever 2, reduce one major fixed cost, housing, transportation, debt payments. Not everything, one big move, because fixed costs crush your monthly contribution capacity. Lever 3, automate and escalate. Automation gives consistency. Escalation gives growth. Every time income increases even slightly, you increase your automated contribution. This is how you scale from $100 a month to $500 a month. Not by motivation, by rules. Here's a rule you can copy. Every time income increases, invest 50% of the increase automatically. You can choose 30, 40%, 60%, but make it a rule. Rules remove negotiation with your weaker self, and the weak self always wants comfort now. But comfort now is expensive later. Here's a practical ladder. Start with $100 a month. Identity. Get comfortable and consistent for 60 to 90 days. Increase to $150 a month, then $200, then $250, then $300, and so on. This sounds slow, but it builds a habit that can grow for years. And when income grows, you jump rungs faster. Most people fail because they jump too far too fast. They set $1,000 a month, then quit after 3 months. The better strategy is small increases you can sustain. Sustainability beats ambition. Now, why does $100 change your life? Not because it's infinite money, because it changes your position. It creates buffer optionality, negotiating power, emotional stability, visible compounding, but only if you protect it correctly. So here's the post-100K protocol. Rule 1, no lifestyle upgrade for 90 days. Let the milestone settle. This prevents reward upgrades that become permanent fixed costs. Rule 2, lock in safety layers. Separate the money mentally. Safety buffer, medium-term stability, long-term compounding. The point is psychological safety. If you feel safe, you invest better. Rule 3, increase automation slightly, not dramatically, sustainably, because the flywheel must continue. Rule 4, avoid hero trades. This is when people get arrogant. I'm good at this now. No, you're good at being consistent. Protect that skill. When you reach $100, your life changes in one primary way. You stop being forced. You can say no, you can wait, you can pivot, you can learn, you can negotiate. That is optionality. And optionality is the closest thing to freedom. So the goal is not to reach 100K to feel proud. The goal is to reach 100K to change your decision-making environment. Because better decisions create better outcomes. Reflexivity again. In part final, we'll tie everything together. The $100 protocol, the $100 habit, the $100 ladder, the 100K flywheel, the trap zone, and a clean, do this next checklist you can copy. Then we'll close with the mindset, how to build slow money in a world addicted to fast money. Now we finish this in the most useful way possible. You've heard the ideas, you've heard the principles. Now you get the system in one page. Because if your plan cannot fit on one page, it usually cannot fit into real life. And remember the central message of this episode. Your first $100 isn't about returns, it's about becoming consistent. Consistency builds the flywheel. The flywheel builds 100K. And 100K changes your life because it creates optionality. Let's lock it in. The $100 100K system, order of operations. Step 1. The $100 protocol, your first move. Rule 1. Protect your time horizon. Only invest money you can leave untouched for years. If you'll need it soon, keep it as cash. Rule 2. Remove fragility first. If you have high interest debt or no emergency buffer, reduce fragility before chasing return. Rule 3. Automate and repeat. Set a small automatic investment schedule. Monthly is fine. The goal is consistency, not brilliance. Step 2. The $100 habit, the identity engine. Pick a day, payday or the first of the month. Automate a small amount. Keep doing it for 90 days without stopping. 90-day goal. You become the type of person who invests regularly. Step 3. The contribution ladder. Scale the engine. Start at $100 a month, then climb. $100, $150, $200, $250, $300. Increase every 30 to 90 days, sustainably. Rules: small increases you can sustain, beat big goals you abandon. Step 4. The 100K flywheel, the wealth machine. Increase income without inflating lifestyle. Protect the gap. Income minus expenses equals fuel. Automate capture. Wealth account first. Compound safely. Simple, diversified, no leverage. Repeat for years. Step 5. The trap zone rules. 70 to 90% protection. When you're close to 100K, no major lifestyle upgrades, no hero trades, no leverage. Maintain automation. Focus on survivability. Step 6. Post 100K protocol. Make it change your life. No lifestyle upgrade for 90 days. Separate safety layers, buffer, stability, growth. Increase automation slightly. Keep investing consistently. Protect optionality. 100K is not the finish line. It's the gateway. Let me leave you with the Soros lesson underneath everything. You are fallible. The world is uncertain. Markets can surprise you, so wealth isn't built by being right once. Wealth is built by designing a system that survives uncertainty and survives your own impulses. Fast money is exciting. Slow money is powerful. Fast money feels like control. Slow money creates freedom. And the bridge from fast money thinking to slow money thinking is simple. Start with $100. Automate it. Repeat it. Then scale the engine. That's how ordinary people build extraordinary optionality. So, invest with just $100. Not because it will make you rich tomorrow, but because it makes you dangerous in the long run. Because it trains the habit that builds your first 100,000. And your first $100,000 changes your life because you stop being forced. You can say no. You can wait. You can choose. That is freedom.